And yes, so many people around the world are watching, and maybe some people, it brings up horrible memories of conditions of war, wherever they may have experienced, suffered by. And I can't help but asking you, wherever you may be and you are viewing this footage. You know, somebody said, well, who cares? It's far away. And I said, it obviously shows me that you were never a victim of war, victim of hatred. And my question is to all of you who are participating, watching, understanding, reasoning, is if you had suffered so severely by war, lost your loved ones, like in my case, I lost all my loved ones during that time. They either were miserably trucked off by the Nazis, or they were, of course, they had lost their lives in bombs, in bombing, shooting, or vicious neighbors, being traitors, and so on and so forth. When we are watching this episode again with Israel and the Palestinians, or as some people say, Gaza. If we want to say Gaza, we can hardly say Gazians, because wasn't it of ancient time that they were the Palestinian people, and other people that came from other places, wherever it may be from this planet? Well, maybe they are then the Gazians. Who knows? Does it really matter who is who? Does it really matter what blood streams through your veins when you suffer? When you are hurled together in fear, maybe in some apartment or in some house under the table? I want you to think about it. You also know that so many a time I speak to you that there is no death. Death doesn't exist. So what is going to happen to the souls, to the individuals who feel now that they should be aggressors? And I don't care whether you're aggressor from the left or the right. You're all aggressors when you go after the life of someone else. And what about all these individuals that are in governments around the world? Well, if they never experience this kind of fear, this kind of horror, and they never tasted it of, if you never tasted it, what does it to you? Or what does it mean to you? Maybe we should ask this question of those who are watching, who have never ever experienced anything. No starvation, no bombing, no shooting, no running for fear of life, no betrayals from people. Should ask if you are really capable of making that judgment. As if you were standing on the edge of the shore and the suffering was taking place 100 feet of you, from you. Is it? If you never tasted it, then you don't know what it feels like or what it is. If you have never starved from hunger, you don't know what it feels like to be hungry. These are my questions, and I would like you to give answers to yourself. and write these answers to your politicians or political leaders. But if you were victims somewhere, anywhere upon this planet, would you want to be a vicious, violent aggressor? If you knew that there was in some apartment a mom, a dad, a grandma, grandpa, some brothers, some sisters, and a bunch of very little children, small children, wouldn't you want to do something so they are safe? Because they did no wrong? Isn't it bringing you into a place of having to make an analysis of who is right and who is wrong? Who deserves and who doesn't deserve? Well, I have a quick answer for you. When you are brought to this planet, upon this surface of this planet, whether you call him God, Allah, Almighty or Creator, doesn't matter, or the All Pure or the All of the All, it doesn't matter. You were brought here, your soul came to this earth plane to live upon this planet. And oh, please don't come with this garbagey karma stuff. Not to me. I don't buy it. You see all these people that talk about this hoopla hoopla stuff. I did see newborn babies being torn to pieces by explosions. I did see little children under the ages of 6 piled up on stretchers. They were still warm when they were laying there, when the life was blasted out of them. But the thing that I do know, and I know all too well, is there is hope. There is hope when every man, woman and child upon this planet says, enough is enough is enough. Because they are spiritual beings. Not hate mongers, not warmongers, but spiritual beings. As I am speaking to you at this moment, there, of course, in Palestine or Gaza or Israel, whatever you want to call it, people are well in the news because the bombs, the missiles, and whatever ugly stuff they have today is being used. And who knows, maybe also DU, depleted uranium, which will seep into the ground and will keep on killing for centuries when it seeps through the desert sands into the aquifers underground. And it is taken from village to village, from country to country, from town to town. Because water has a tendency to transport whatever. So, leaving this for a moment and then thinking about the people in the Sudan and people in the African countries who are at this moment as we speak suffering such a long suffering and painful suffering. And then I must stop, because I'm going to ask you, what are your religions doing for you? Since they never brought peace. This one hang out with that one, and this hang out with that one. And if we go back into history, we know that there was massive control of course, the Emperor King Constantine and his descendants up until today.